Hi guys, long time, a lot of fun on Twitter today. Verge has had a partnership with a certain company that's well known to a lot of little children who like Vaseline. A lot of fun, a lot of jokes. Definitely enjoyed my time the last 4 months doing this. It's a lot of fun. And it's nice to see other crypto enthusiasts getting involved now. I know crypto AMD is doing really well, Wave 618. And obviously a lot of the UK guys are now getting involved, so it's really interesting. It's a very fun community, and I have to say that I myself have had a lot of fun doing this. That's what it's all about. It's all about everyone having a lot of fun, and at the same time hopefully making a lot of money as well. So obviously none of what we say is a financial advice, but you triangulate opinion between as many people who you think know what they're talking about. So we're going to have a quick look at Bitcoin today. As always, we're going to start it off with a quick heartstrings video, and then we'll get into it.
What's up, everybody? How am I looking? Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, pump and dump. Listen up, this shit's important. Yeah, it could save you a lot of money, man. Tell them what it is, man. This is what a pump and dump scheme is, man. Yeah. You get a lot of investors, huge investors, got big time money, right? They say, hey, everybody, we're gonna do a pump and dump. They start buying the coin, right? The coin's real low, so they take advantage. They buy a whole bunch of coins, right? Then they get on Twitter. Then they go on Facebook. Then they on TV. Then you got people knocking at your door. Hey, next Bitcoin. You're like, what? Next Bitcoin? Then everybody starts buying, right? Yeah, it's that. What's that? What you call it? The fear of missing out? FOMO, man. Some FOMO action. Then everybody says, I can't miss on this. It's the next Bitcoin. So then the big circle investors, come on over here. Yeah, come on over here. Jump in the circle. All the coins is right here. Coins is right here. Then everybody's buying coins. Your mama's buying coins. Your daddy's buying coins. Grandma's buying coins. Your great-great-granddad is buying coins. He came back from the dead. He didn't buy some damn coins, right? Then everybody that orchestrated that huge circle of investors that called y'all to come inside and start buying them coins, what they gonna do is they gonna pull out on you.
Right, let's just leave it there before it gets too X-rated. Highly recommend the heartstrings. Grew up broke and now are loaded, so a lot to respect there. So you know, things are getting interesting. I saw Wave 618. He's talking about neutral triangles, which is a derivative really of a WXY truncation. You know, you can call these waves whatever you like. At the end of the day, it's all about predicting the direction something is likely to go. I'm still not happy calling this a full-blown bull market. I'm just not happy with that. Just because the length of this correction, the price action, the fact that the RSI has gone below 50 on the weekly chart and still has more room to go, similar to what happened in 2014. I'm just not happy just to call the bottom here. Obviously, there is some bullish divergence, hidden bullish divergence here, which can be seen where the RSI goes down and the weekly low goes high. So it's higher lows in price and lower lows. That's called hidden bullish divergence, right? But you can't just go off the RSI, even though I keep on going back to it. I'm just looking for real oversold conditions. And as much as these altcoins have had these accumulation patterns, which they obviously have, and we'll go over that in a minute today. You know, they've had these selling climaxes, automatic rallies. They've been going sideways. They've broken out, retested, and now they're gone. Bitcoin hasn't had that. So, you know, there's clear that there's a disassociation right now between what Bitcoin's doing and what the altcoins are doing, and that has been the case for the last 10 days or so. So it comes down to what your own personal risk tolerance is, number one, and number two, what are you actually doing here? What is your overall goal? If your goal is just to trade the altcoins to accumulate as much BTC as you can, then all you need to do is just count 5 waves up, get out of it, like in Verge. I mean, it was so obviously going to sell off. You know, buy the rumor, sell the news sort of thing. And then move it over to something that hasn't pumped. And just keep on moving, just keep on doing that from coin to coin to coin. You know, you'll be fine. Where's XRP? Yeah. Yeah, see, XRP is just getting ready here. It's clear XRP is going to be the next one to, break out. So it just comes down to whatever you guys are doing. I mean, if your job is just to accumulate Bitcoin by trading altcoins, so let me just repeat that. You're trading altcoins, moving from one to the other, holding it for a quick swing trade. That's probably where you'll make the most amount of money, to be honest, is a swing trade. Rather than being a day trading hero, if you swing with a larger position, just hold it for anywhere between a couple of days and up to 3-4 weeks. Like on Verge, it went up 300% in 30 days. That's better than Facebook will ever do for the rest of your lifetime until the world ends. So if your only job is just to trade altcoins and accumulate as much BTC as you can, because obviously you're trading against BTC, and then just hoard that BTC, store it into cold storage, and just keep on growing your BTC count. And then in 2-3 years, when times get a little bit dodgy, but Bitcoin will be, 20,000, 50,000, 100,000, then sell it. You need to ask yourself, what is your overall goal here? What are you guys doing? So that's one way to look at it. The second way to look at it is just to trade against the USD value, but the USD value is made up out of Bitcoin. And, I'm not gonna, jump from the rooftops right now and suddenly call this a bullish market, because I just can't do that. Even with this truncated fifth wave, so it was a fifth wave for the C wave, the C wave off the Y wave, which also truncated. So I just can't call it a bull market until this line convincingly breaks to the upside with a lot of volume, and it retests this line and it continues to go up. Maybe then I'll call it a bull market, but it's clear the altcoins are already moving. So if some of you guys are like, you know what, I don't really care about Bitcoin at all, which is a very fair point, because whatever Bitcoin does, let's say it does go down to 3,000, it'll go sideways, then it'll go back up to 20,000. Well, who the hell cares? Because all you guys are going to be doing, the guys who are trading the altcoins, you're just going to trade one altcoin to the next, to the next, to the next, accumulate as much BTC as you can, and eventually this BTC price in a few years will catch up with you, and it'll be 20, 30, 40, 50,000. So it's important to understand what you're actually doing. Are you a trader? Are you an investor? Are you a swing trader? Are you day trading this? So that's why bullish and bearish counts. It doesn't really suit everyone, because everyone has a different agenda here, right? Like some people must have bought Verge 4 weeks ago and sold it just before this news, and they've made a whole load of Bitcoin on that. Now they're going to pump all that into Ripple or Tron, whatever the next one is. So maybe CND, whatever. CND's getting ready to break out here as well. So it just comes down to what your preference is. I can't tell you what to do. I'm more of a long-term holder, right? So I need to know what's going to happen from a longer term perspective. So I can't go all in at this moment. I can nibble, and there's nothing wrong with that from an investing point of view, especially as there is a very small chance this could still be bullish, and then it could break up, which is great. But there's just not enough of a shakeout. Like, I haven't seen this moment in sort of ADA selling climax, go sideways, then it goes up. I've not seen that proper accumulation that I look for. And why look at ADA? Why not just look at what Bitcoin did back in 2014 here? So this was just a huge selling climax on lots of negative volume, then it went sideways. So it's still a little bit up in the air, really, but I can't deny that the altcoins are really moving. So if you guys just want to trade altcoins and accumulate as much BTC, and you don't really care about the BTC price because you can do without the money, and you're going to sell that BTC in a few years' time, then fine, by all means, just go into the altcoins, and then do that. There's nothing wrong with that. And these charts aren't that difficult to read, really. As long as you catch 70-80% of the move, then you'll do fine. So yeah, that's obviously one of the ways. So anyway, going to Bitcoin then. So that's the altcoins, but the altcoins are definitely in a bull market. But I can't say the same for Bitcoin. So that's the disassociation that we're having. Obviously, some of the altcoins might develop USD pairings or Euro pairings or pound pairings. some of them have already done so, but with Binance going over to Malta, whatever, and Bittrex doing their thing, they could develop more and more pairings. So that in itself will disassociate from Bitcoin. I wish it was, you know, as easy as Bitcoin just falling down and, you know, falling down, and then we could have all got in with fiat and then gone into the altcoins. But the altcoins have just said, you know what, F this, I'm going to start moving. So you got to trade the market, right? Because if you're not trading the market, then what are you doing? You're just gambling, really. So, you know, you got to just understand what is your risk tolerance and everything else. But for longer term investors, I can understand why people are still waiting on the side, because they're like, wait a minute, well, if Bitcoin still goes down, you know, to even here or here, then technically my altcoin USD price will be worth less, and then I can buy in. So it purely comes down to whatever your own risk tolerance is. So hopefully I've made that point clear. But there's no doubt all of these altcoins, one by one, are just going to start popping off. So they've had their, you know, oh my god, they've had their, you know, accumulation patterns. They're going to make their wave ones, they're going to come down to make their twos, and then they're going to go off. So Verge, the last time I looked at it, I mean, I was just having a lot of fun on Twitter today. A lot of jokers, a lot of funny guys. What's it at? 1083. Yeah, look at the state of that candle. So if I just bring up on the 4 hourly, I mean, you know, it's very clearly made 5 waves up. You know, any little kid could just count that, either here or here. However, suppose you could put the 4 here if you wanted to, put the 3 here, you know, whatever, right? So it doesn't really matter how you count it, as long as you caught the bulk of that move. Now with Verge, for example, I mean, the 50 is where the algos are going to buy in. So anyone who was trading this on a day-to-day basis, that was where you should have had your stops. Now, I'm not going to go too much into this because I mean, this does look quite impulsive, really, doesn't it? So let's go on the 15-minute. Yeah, that all looks very impulsive, but to be honest, it could be an ABC. So I just can't be bothered going into it. But it might have already done its correction and now it's starting its way through. I don't know. Or then this could all just be part of a larger A. That just could be an ABC part of a larger A. Then it's going to make some sort of B wave. Then it's going to come down. But anything that retraces, you know, more than 61.8% is probably not a retracement. It's part of the new, you know, the new wave up. So if it breaks 12, 13 or whatever, then it might very well be bullish. But so just bear that in mind. But I just can't be bothered going into it right now. But you know, hopefully Verge gets below 1,000 sats. I did tell people to buy below 1,000 sats. It's not one of the coins which I'm holding personally. You know, it's a good coin, but you know, it's got a few issues, hasn't it? So but I'm not an expert in that. As much as I like to troll people, I mean, that is a lot of volume. There's a lot of volume there. So but yeah, I mean, you know, Verge made a 350% move against BTC. So if you guys are just into this to trade altcoins, accumulate BTC and hold that BTC until Bitcoin hits 40,000, then yeah, fine, that's a good way to do it. And then you take all of these profits and you go into your next one. So I think it was TRX which was moving, I've been told. You know, Lumens has gone. ZRX obviously had its, you know, move up. That's getting a bit toppy there, isn't it? 1,000 whatever, so expect a retrace. So, you know, you don't really need to care about the Bitcoin price, to be honest. It doesn't need to be much fascination with you guys. What's Steam doing? Yeah, Steam has gone. Strat is looking like it's gonna go as well. So it's really only Ripple, which and what was the other one? CND, like Monaco, blast from the past. Blast from the past. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money there against BTC. That's 76% against BTC. And even on the USD price, it's really moving as well. So, you know, Encash, you know, everything's moving. So it just, you know, there's no harm whatsoever. Sidecoin's getting ready to move now as well. So it just comes down to whatever you guys are doing really, and what your goals are out of this market. Digibyte, the last time I saw Digibyte, it was a little bit toppy. This is divergence here, right? So the price has made higher highs. What was that high? 382, 384. Yeah, so do you see here? I'm not comfortable buying at this amount of sats. So the RSI is going down, so that's divergence, and the price has been making higher highs, and that looks like a bit of a distribution pattern to me, just like this looks like accumulation. So it looks as though we got a small time distribution here. Now I could be wrong, it could just end up going up a little bit further, but I'm not going to chase Digibyte at these sort of levels. And also on the daily, I mean, it's really got moving here. It's really just shot all the way up to oversold. So I don't like to buy anything oversold. Maybe if it hits back to 50, maybe, you know, just set an alert on your, you know, screen, whatever. I can't do it here for some reason. Maybe it'll come back to 300 sats or something, maybe 320, I don't know. But wait for a retracement. But if all of that is a wave 1, wave 2 here somewhere, then the next step's going to be 503, and then before you know it, Digibyte's going to be testing the sats price right up here off 7, 8, 900 or so. You know, something like this sort of thing. And then that will be a much larger wave 1. That will then all be a wave 1. Then it will then make a wave 2. So maybe what's happening is all of these altcoins are making their wave 1s. So this is wave 1 of wave 1 of wave 3. This is wave 1. So let me just make this clear to everyone, right? So this is the major wave 1. That's the major wave 2. Major wave 3, 4, and 5. So let's just make it clear. That's like the highest level. Let's call it super cycle, even though it's not, right? So that's the major super cycle. So this wave 3 now has to have 5 waves, right? Of which the 5 waves are going to be wave 1. This is all done a 2. You know, so I'm going to make a 3 here somewhere. 4, 5, right? So let's just move that over. So this is the kind of level that you need to look at things. So that'll obviously be one level. That'll be one level lower than, let's call that cycle. Okay, so the major count is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 going to the moon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is the wave 3, yeah, that we're talking about on the cycle level, and it's had its wave. You know, what's it done here? That's better. Okay, so wave 1 is here on the cycle degree, just to make it clear, and now it's making a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 off a larger 1. Does that make sense? So I'm hoping that makes sense with everyone. So it's basically making a 1 and then a 2, then a 3 and a 4 and a 5 to go to here. So I hope that makes sense. And that will then be one cycle. That will then be the primary cycle. And here it's actually making the intermediate cycle off that wave 1. So let's just, oh, this is time consuming. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So basically it's making the intermediate. So I hope that makes sense. So basically what Digibyte, I think, and all the altcoins are doing is they're making their larger degree wave 1s, and they could very well go to their previous highs that they had back in, you know, January or December or whatever. Then they'll come crashing down in a wave 2, but that wave 2 won't go lower than the wave 1 low. So the wave 1 low on Digibyte was 230 sats. I can't see it hitting that kind of level again. And then that'll then do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to form this wave 3, then do a wave 4, then do a wave 5. That'll then finish off a wave 3, and then 4, and then 5. So hopefully that makes some sort of sense. But that's the way I'm looking at it. So it's basically making a very, very small wave 1 right now, but then it's going to really get going into 3 and 4 and 5. So as I said, if you guys have no interest in the Bitcoin price, and all you care about is just accumulating Bitcoin by trading altcoins or via trading altcoins, then fine, just go ahead. Put some Bitcoin into your, you know, trading account on Bittrex or Binance, and then just trade like hell. And you can make a lot of money doing it. I mean, I would spend more time doing this. It's just that I don't have the time. So just comes down to whatever you guys are willing to do. Obviously, for long-term investors, it may be a little bit, you know, dodgy right now. You can't really go all in because of what Bitcoin potentially will do. Because, you know, if Bitcoin dumps, then obviously that might affect the altcoins. But maybe Bitcoin, maybe the altcoins will then make their, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5s, make their larger degree wave 1. And as Bitcoin dumps to 3,000, maybe that's when the altcoins will make their wave 2. But so maybe that's what's going to happen. I don't know. And then it's 3, 4, 5, and then exactly as I said. So, but it's clear the altcoins are starting to move, and you know it's time to get in. And as I said, Syndicator looks really good. You know, XRP, whatever. So anyway, that's just the altcoin. So there's a disassociation with what Bitcoin's doing and what altcoins are doing. But as regards to Bitcoin, I can't really call that the correction is over. I'm not convinced really, and I'm expecting a big dump pretty soon as well, especially with this futures contract, which is going to expire on the 26th. So maybe it'll hit this line over the next, I don't know, Thursday, Friday, whatever, and then it'll dump down. How low it'll go, I don't know. But for those of you waiting to get in and you want to take part on this altcoin, you know, quote unquote popping season, then maybe that's a good time to, you know, change some Bitcoin, put it into your thing and start trading altcoins. So, but, you know, some of you have already gone all in. Some of you are sitting in cash. So it's purely different strokes and different folks and all that. So, but yeah, that's the update really. So, but I'm just not convinced Bitcoin's in a bull market yet, because, you know, the way that I like to do things, regardless of Elliott wave, actually, I mean, Wyckoff is number one in what I do, as you guys know. It's that selling climax, it's that sideways accumulation, and then it goes up, exactly as the altcoins have done, as I've shown you with all of them. So Digibyte down, sideways, up. ADA doing the same. Okay, I'm not going to go into them, but you get the point. So because I've not seen what I like to see, Wyckoff overrules everyone. Okay, I made this point before in one of my videos, although I do like deleting my stuff occasionally. I do like having my fun. Wyckoff number 1, Elliott number 2, and then Fibonacci number 3. Simple as that. So this can be WXY, ABC, you know, like chicken, rabbits, and you know, whatever, fish. Could be killer sharks, lions, and whales. You can call it what you like. I've not seen what I like to see. So that's why I can't say for Bitcoin we're in a bull market. But what I can say is the altcoin / BTC prices, those are definitely moving up. However, you have to factor in the fact that Bitcoin might still take a bit of a dump. Obviously, if it dumps and it finds support at this line, goes sideways, and then it breaks out on really high volume, there's some bullish news, new sellers are coming in, which obviously isn't happening right now, then fine. This whole correction was a WXY, and then we're going to start making a real march towards really high numbers, 20,000, 30,000, 50,000. And of course, don't forget, this could just be a very sneaky, you know, X wave that's actually here. So that's a very, very sneaky option, which needs to be entertained. That all of that was just a 3-wave A. This is now some sort of 3-wave B, and then it's going to make either a C or a WXY, to make a larger X here, and thus this would then constitute a larger, almost a running flat, to be honest, because that's higher than here. It's like a running flat X. So this is how complicated Elliott wave can get. So it could very well do that, and then it could have its big dump. But because we've not had that big panic sell-off that I like to see, and because I rate Wyckoff higher than everything that I do, it's all about volume, candlesticks, and Wyckoff number 1, and because Wyckoff overrules Elliott, that's why I'm just not happy calling this Bitcoin correction over label yet. I'm not happy to label it as that. But there's no doubt that the altcoins, one by one, they're just going to start popping off. But as I've explained with Digibyte, they might just be making larger wave, you know, ones. But you guys who are sitting in cash, well, you need to ask yourself, by the time Bitcoin finishes doing what it's doing, I don't know how low it's going to go, maybe 3,000, 4,000, maybe might have finished at 6,500, who the hell knows. But if you're just sitting in cash watching this, well, you need to be happy with DigiBuy potentially being at, you know, 850 sats. So you need to be happy with that the altcoins are moving away from you. So once again, it purely comes down to your own risk tolerances. I've gone on for too long here. Hopefully that makes my point clear. Once again, it's not financial advice. Everyone seems to be saying that these days, so I'm gonna have to just plug that in there. Learned that from Carter Thomas. Good lad. He's a very good lad. You should listen to his videos. He explains a lot of inside stuff that doesn't usually get told. So I think his videos are very good. Anyway, so that's my opinion. I think Bitcoin, I can't call a bull market. Altcoin BTC is definitely in a bull market, as far as I'm concerned, because they've had their accumulation patterns. They're now popping off. If you guys are just trading altcoins to accumulate BTC and you're going to sell before the world ends in 3-4 years when Bitcoin's 50,000, great. If you guys are more long-term investors, well, you just need to maybe be quite fluid, assume formlessness, 48 laws of power, have different ideas or different funds allocated to different things. There's no harm in anyone trading these altcoins. They're so easy to fucking trade. I mean, just Verge, it's just such an obvious move that it was going to go down. And if you bought at 800 sats on Verge, well, you're now up 20% in terms of BTC. So, you know, a lot of money to be made there as long as you know what you're doing. But I don't think we're out the woods yet, certainly not for Bitcoin. So let's see how it plays out. It's going to be a very interesting year. This is the year where blockchain is definitely going to come to the fore, as per the 1988 economist Eagle. Fascinating, isn't it, how all of this was 30 years ago. You guys should watch Matrix and Back to the Future and Terminator again. A lot of predictive programming, so clearly someone somewhere knew something. James Cameron and Steven Spielberg. Anyway, let's not go into 322. Okay guys, so I'll leave it at that. Bit of rambling towards the end. Hopefully I made my point clear. Once again, trade at your own risk and all that. It's not financial advice. I love that phrase. I'm going to start using that all the time. And big up to the Hodge twins.